Trevor Lawrence got $55 million a year from the Jaguars, 5 for $275, including $200 million guaranteed, $142 million at signing. How much does this hurt Jerry Jones with the Dak Prescott negotiation? Just waiting and waiting and waiting. Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, with the latest.
Yeah, that is to be determined, and really the ball is in the Dallas Cowboys court. You know, we have talked about this. We talked about it at the league meeting in March, that the Cowboys have really made no moves toward an extension for Dak. That still is where it remains. Now, you can do a new deal before training camp. You can do a new deal before the season. There is still time, but, you know, all of the leaves that our good friend Jane blew with that leaf blower a couple weeks ago, they are now falling for the Cowboys. The market is showing what it is. Judy mentioned it. Is it possible Dak Prescott gets $60 million if Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow are getting 55 and Dak has all the leverage on a huge number next year if they franchise him, which they can't? $60 million now becomes legitimately possible, whether the Cowboys end up trying somehow, some way to do something for Dak, or whether he just simply plays it out, crushes it, goes to the free agent market. The number 60, as in $60 million, is no longer crazy. It's now pretty real.
I was like, who's Jane Blue? Did they add someone to the NFL Network? And then Slater texted me her buying a leaf blower and airing it to make fun of Jerry, or to reference Jerry and what they said about the leaves falling.
This is, I mean, look, Burrow and I don't know that it does anything
really
to change it.
Here are the numbers. Highest paid quarterbacks on a per year basis. Hurts 51. Lamar 52, Herbert 52.5, Goff 53, Burrow 55, Trevor 55.
Yeah, Dak was always going to ask for 60 or close to it. 55 was always going to be the number he was going to get to. That was like probably the floor, right? That was probably Dak's like floor,
roughly
ish. I mean,
you might be right.
If you're talking about like.
It doesn't
1 or
change
2 million.
It doesn't change the ask. It changes where the Cowboys have to go.
Well, yes, but I think they always had to go to 55 anyway.
No, I think they have to go above 55.
No, I think they always had to go to that was always the floor.
I think the Cowboys thought their settle point was 55. I think the Cowboys' settle point now, best case scenario, is 57.
Because now instead of just saying, well, Burrow's making 55, reset the market, he's Joe Burrow, 55, maybe 56. Well, now you can argue, and you should argue, Trevor Lawrence is not as good as Dak Prescott, so it's like the Lamb Jefferson thing, right? If Lamb got his money first, Jefferson would be like, "Yo, I'm $4 million better than that." Mm-hmm. If I'm Dak's people, I'm saying it's no longer even with Burrow or Goff. It's that much more above Lawrence. Is that fair?
Yeah, and what the Cowboys would probably say in response is, you guys have sat here and told us for the last couple negotiations that the market is the market and the next guy just resets it, and it has nothing to do with who's better. That's because Dak, you wanted to be paid like the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL, even though you weren't the second best. And so the Cowboys, that's probably their angle of what they'll do. What they'll try to say in the negotiation is, no, fine, we'll top it. You're not going a percentage above Lawrence, though, because that's not how you've told us the negotiations work for the last 4 years.
They could top it in total guarantees. They could top it in total value of the contract. They could top it in average annual.
Or there's the possibility, as someone very much in the know texted me yesterday, that
you're welcome.
It was not you. Someone informed that there may not be any offer coming.
There may not. There may not
be any deal.
And that may make Dak the happiest, because I think Dak on the open market, 60's on the table.
And that's a point to everyone who has texted us saying you guys are smoking crack if you think that someone else would pay Dak that. Do you all change your mind now that Lawrence just got this? You better.
I mean,
you better change your mind.
Have you seen half the teams out there and what they're throwing out there at the quarterback position? You don't think the Raiders would throw out $60 million for Dak Prescott right now to be? They're in an arms race, for crying out loud, in the AFC West.
Literally.
I mean, look, the Cowboys' argument is you're not Burrow. He's been to a Super Bowl. Goff has done more in terms of like playoff performances. He's only getting 53. I mean, there's arguments that you can make if you're the Cowboys. I mean, they're not strong.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter what you say back, because the ultimate counter in the negotiation is,
I'll wait.
Fine.
Yeah.
Let me go to the market.
Right.
And
let me go to the market. You lose.
And they have banked, I think, before. The problem is that they've always thought, well, that's fine, because he won't ultimately do that because he wants to be a Cowboy. The problem is that they've reached a point where he doesn't feel like he has to be a Cowboy anymore. He wants to. I don't think he feels like I have to have my career here anymore. I don't think that's his thought process. And they banked on that for a long time.
And the other bottom line story here is no matter what happens, in my opinion, they effed up the negotiation by waiting again.
Yep.
If your intent is to re-sign, what are you doing? What are you doing? Every cent has to be accounted for. $1 here to Micah. That gets taken away from another player. Even if you're intending on re-signing and you're going to do it later on, you have messed up again by waiting.
Yeah.
Yep, they've cost, and it's funny because Steven has said in the last year, I think he was doing a sit down with Pat Doney, and he's like, "What's the one thing you think you've learned, or the one thing you wish you could do over?" And he's like, "Yeah, we probably wouldn't have waited as long on Dak. We learned from that." And it's like, well, have you? It doesn't feel like you have, because again, you've let this reach the point that it has. And look, again, maybe that offer's not coming, because when Pelissero, we didn't include the audio there, but Pelissero, when he tees up Ian there for that reply, Pelissero had said something along the lines of, "And there's no guarantee this money even comes from Dallas." And Pelissero, we know, is very connected to some people in Dallas. And if that's what Pelissero's thinking, that means he's at least getting some posturing at the very least, or getting some good insight that it's not a guarantee.
I mean, look, they can have a great season, and that will really be interesting what happens as the season progresses.
But that's where I think their arrogant mentality is fine, win 13 games and go to the NFC Championship, and we're fine just paying you 61. We'll pay you 61 then, and you'll re-sign and you'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll pay you top of market if you do something special, and it's another wait-and-see tactic where we would have hoped that they had made up their mind on him already, and they don't think, oh, my gosh, we could have saved $6 million or $5 million if we did it earlier. We want to see you get somewhere, and then we'll pay you top of market.
Yeah. Now, like,
got another call.
I don't know. This is I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, they're testing. They're
just testing.
They're testing.
Dang it.
No, not dang it. We don't want calls.
Yes, we want calls.
We don't want calls for society.
Look at this. They're opening the garage door here.
Yeah, what is Chop doing? Rooting for injury? Like he's on G-Bag or something?
That was loud. It's quite loud. They're moving.
Even the Allen Firehouse disrespects the Dak Prescott contract.
They liked, by the way, when we were taking our picture, they certainly liked you checking their stats, taking 2 minutes to get out of here.
Hey, listen, man. You know we gotta.
We hold everyone accountable.
We gotta hold the Cowboys accountable. We gotta hold the Allen Fire Department
Didn't you
accountable.
feel like I enjoyed you keeping track of our time there? Didn't you feel like that was the same energy as when people at the Cowboys say, "Hey, I heard your show today"? Like it was like it's trying to let you know. I heard what you said.
It kind of was like that, no doubt.
All right, guys. Like, in all seriousness, like, we do need to do a radio show. Like, get up out of here. Let's go. 877-881-1053 is the Franklin and Franco injury attorney text line. And then both of you guys were worked up over this Eagles-Falcons punishment.
Yeah, because this is Chop, I think, is worked up for a different reason. I mean, I also agree. The idea that they get a fifth-round pick taken away from them for tampering with 3 players, not just Kirk Cousins, but also Darnell Mooney and I think another one. But they get a fifth-round pick taken away, $250,000 fine. That right there is a slap on the wrist. My biggest issue, though...
Can anyone hear anything that Bobby's saying?
I mean, it'd be the first time in the world somebody couldn't hear me yelling. It would be, though...
Tolos are rooting for the fire truck to stay on during Bobby's segments and below the belt.
Yeah, test back at 8:40, guys. The Eagles not even getting a slap on the wrist for the Saquon Barkley thing is just, it's another bit of deference to the Eagles and Howie Roseman that annoys the hell out of me. Because the Eagles were quick on everybody else. Oh, nope, we need payback for them coming and tampering with Jonathan Gannon. We need a Cardinals draft pick. This was unacceptable. And then they essentially tamper with Saquon Barkley, get cleared, and it's just the Falcons that get slapped on the wrist.
And this is Dak Prescott loves the punishment. He is a huge fan of the punishment. This non-punishment that Atlanta, would they give up a fifth, you said?
Yep, fifth and $250,000 fine.
Which is absolutely nothing. The risk reward for tampering and getting your quarterback, and all you have to do is give them a fifth and a $250,000 fine, or nothing if you're the Eagles, that is open season on all players. If you're the Raiders, if you're, give me a team without a quarterback, New Orleans, I mean, whoever, right?
Baltimore.
Stop it. If you're one of those teams and Dak Prescott gets to the market, because all these deals are done, what, Bobby, at the Combine? They're all done at the Combine.
Oh, yeah, like tampering goes on all the time.
All the time. If you're one of those teams, how are you not on the phone with Dak's agent right now saying, hey, go to the market. Go to the market. We got you.